Are we live? I don't even know if we're live. I think we might be. There's a little red thing at the top there.
Yes, we're live.
I'm going to say good afternoon, everyone. I'm very sorry my voice is still, you can hear it. Anyway, and I'm still coughing a little bit, but thank you to all of you who've been sending me healing. Thank you for all of you who've been sending me prayers. Thank you to all of you who've been sending me your well wishes. So we're back with our healing hands around the world healing session, and I'm going to begin the session by talking about how important it is, the responsibility of healers, the responsibility of healing, the responsibility of all of us, all of you out there who want to do this, who want to learn more about it, who want to know more and to do more about this. I want to talk about the responsibilities that we have. Then we're going to do our healing session. Then I'm going to tell you a story. And, excuse me, but only if my voice lasts. So all right. So, it is so important, and I try to instill this into my students. Sometimes I don't manage, sometimes they don't get it. I blame myself for that, perhaps because I'm not making it clear enough or firm enough or what have you for them to understand. But the responsibilities that we have as healers and the responsibilities that we have in our spiritual work, whether it's simply talking to other people about meditation, or if it's simply talking to people about your own beliefs and your own belief systems, it's so important that we have to be so mindful that we have a responsibility when we're talking about these things to bear in mind that just because we believe these things or these things happen to us doesn't mean that we can load that onto other people. Sometimes if somebody says to me, well, what can you see for me, or what would you like, can I have a consultation with you, or would you like to give me healing? Of course I'm going to do it, but I always make sure that people ask for what I have. They ask me. I never ever will put my thoughts, my feelings, my sensitivities, my knowledge or my visions. I would never ever give them to someone else unless they specifically ask me, can you help me, or can you do this for me, or will you do this for me? In other words, if you want healing from me, you've got to ask me. If I see that you're in the street or in a car, as happened to me recently, and I told this story, I think even on this show a few months ago, where I came out of the bank and there was a lady sitting in a car. I reached into the car and I was talking to her, I was holding her hands and I was giving her healing. Now, please understand that I was also seeing a lot of stuff, sensing a lot of stuff, aware of a lot of stuff. But my aim was to try to get her to talk to me, to show her that I'm listening, somebody's listening. If I had gone into, and I can see your mother, or I can see so-and-so behind you, or I've had a dream about this or this, and this is what I think and feel, I'm pushing my views, my point of view onto someone else. I don't know if that person is ready to hear what I have to say. I don't know if that person is going to be affected by what I have to say, or in what way, adversely or otherwise. The responsibility of what we do is so important that if we are wanting to share how we're developing, how we're learning, how we're growing, we do it in a way that does not invade another person's private thoughts or private life. We are not all-knowing and all-seeing, nor should we give the impression that we are even a little bit. So when my students are learning and they're growing, I know the temptation for them is to share with other people. They share what they see, what they think, and so on. One wrong word one small word, seemingly okay for you perhaps, can affect another person seriously, can give other people nightmares, can make people worry, can do so much damage that it's obvious at some point down the road we should have never opened our mouths in the first place. So please, when you're working, please, when you're learning, when you're growing, when you're developing, and even just in discussing, you're allowed to say, I have these great experiences. You're allowed to talk about those experiences to some degree. What you should never do is to go to someone and say, I've got something to tell you. I saw so-and-so and it's all about you. Unless that person asks you, what gives you the right to invade their lives? What gives you the right to invade their emotions and their emotional state? You don't know how they're going to react to what it is that you're saying. You don't know if it's going to eat at them. Little seeds are dangerous things. If we're going to sow our seeds, let's make sure that they're sown in a field that is ready to be sown. Let's make sure that those seeds go to a place that is ready to absorb them. And you don't know, and I don't know, which is why we should always wait for people to come to us and to ask us. Now, I know that so many of you think, well, but I was only helping. Well, I was trying to help. Well, I thought it would be a nice thing for them to know. Recently there was a lady who actually lives in Canada. She considers herself to be a partial medium, is what she calls herself. But she's been very free with her advice, very free with her visions. Or anyone who comes to her house and knows that she's going to look at them and say, oh, I had a dream about your daughter, or I had a dream about so-and-so and so forth. And I've tried working with this lady to explain to her how very dangerous it is to you don't even know what you're doing. And I've said this to her. She doesn't even really know or understand what it is that she's doing. Everybody's flailing about in the dark. So, please be mindful of the responsibility. If you're going to give someone healing, if you do it quietly in silent prayer, you put them in your healing book and send them healing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You're not invading their privacy. You're not pushing your beliefs or your thoughts onto them. You are simply quietly and carefully, with God's help, sending out healing prayers to them. And that's fine. But to go and invade someone's house or invade someone's life and say, oh, look, hey, I can see your daughter, or I can see your son, or I can see this or this, and if I were you, and you start then giving advice, how do you know that advice is the right advice? How do you know that it's the thing to do? I had another lady, and she was actually a student of mine, and she called me and she said that a friend of hers had lost her son, and she was going to go to the hospital. There'd all been an accident and the son had died. And I said, just please be very careful. Just listen. Do not give any information. I'm not saying that because I think I should be the only one to do it. Do not give any information. If you don't know what you're doing, stop playing around. Stop mucking about. So she went, and the boy at the time, the son at the time, was in a coma. And she went in, and the parents were there. They knew that she was connected to me, so that sort of gave her a little bit of credence, I suppose. And the first thing she said when she walked through the door was, oh, I feel he's going to be fine. I feel he's going to be fine. And the parents took that as meaning that he was going to come out of the coma and he was going to be all right. What a stupid thing to do. What an irresponsible thing to do. And what a cruel thing to do. I know that she did not mean to be irresponsible. I know that she did not mean to be cruel. I know that she did not mean to hurt in any way. But that responsibility, she forgot her responsibility to just sit, hold the boy's hand and tell the parents, I'm giving him healing. They'd asked for her to come. Is it all right if I give him healing? And if they said yes, that's fine. But why be the guru in the room? Why are people tempted to let people think that they know more than they do? What is that? Is it a look at me? Is it a that person wanting people to think more of them, or is it a sense of a lack of self-worth? So I'm going to show you what I can do. I don't know what it is. I think it's different reasons for different people. That boy in that hospital bed died, and my student, when she came and told me that, I actually ended up kicking her out of the class. But I said to her, how many conversations have we had about responsibility, and how could you possibly go in there and say that? Within hours the boy died, and the two mothers never spoke again, because what she did was she lifted their hopes, meaning to be kind, meaning to be nice. You know what they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but it's still the road to hell. So please, 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 all of you, all of you out there who are healers, all of you out there who are learning and growing, all of you out there who are excited about your own personal self-growth, please, 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 please be mindful of the responsibility that you have. Be mindful that when you say something to someone, they can take it to heart. Just please, please, just understand, all of us, we're little human beings. We are not all knowing and all seeing by any means. And for us to make it seem or to allow other people to think that we know these things when we don't, or when we have so little knowledge that we can't back it up, it's so harmful and it's so dangerous, and I come across it all the time. So if you're tempted to want to tell somebody something, first of all, take a step backward. You take a breath and just think, wait a minute, do I really know what I'm talking about? Why am I wanting to do this? Why am I wanting to say this? Just holding someone's hands and saying, I'm with you, or I'm trying to give you comfort in your time of need, or you can say, especially when someone's lost a child, I believe that they are fine and so on. But you're making it clear that's your belief. You're not acting like you know more than you know. So, gosh, I feel as if I've been lecturing now. Have I been lecturing, Michelle?
But it's not bad lecturing, it's good lecturing. It's stuff that needs to be said.
It's so tough because there are a lot of people who don't like me to say it, because they're the people who are being irresponsible. They're the people who are going out there and making out like they know much more than they actually do know. And you get this situation of the blind leading the blind. And there was a lady on a TV show that in England that I was on a few years ago, and she'd been to a woman who claimed to be a medium, who told us such nonsense about she'd lost her son, and she went with such great hopes, and this woman told us such such absolute nonsense. So she turned against the whole thing. She became very bitter and very angry with people like myself who say, yes, actually, we can talk to people who have died. She became very angry because her hopes were completely dashed, and she turned her face away from it. Be careful, you can do so much more harm than you can do good. And don't profess or give the impression, even slightly, that you know more than you actually know. That's me done. Right, now, let's let's, if you're, do we have anyone on? Any comments? Anybody?
Lots of people on.
Okay.
Sending to Italy, healing to Italy for what they have going on over there, probably with the coronavirus and everything else. But we have several people on. That's all we've got right now, though.
Okay, no comments yet.
Only the sending healing to Italy.
Okay, that's lovely. We're glad about that. All right, now.
There's one that just came in. Do you want it or do you want to wait?
Oh, that's true.
It says, Anna Rita says, Rosemary, a prayer for people to understand that we are in an emergency and it is not a joke. It will soon be worldwide. Let's pray together. Thank you, of Italy.
Okay, so then let's have our, it's not just Italy, let's be clear. There are other places as well, so it's not just Italy. But let's just, for those of you who would like healing, take from this whatever you can. Absorb, remember to absorb the energy as it's being sent out. And those of you who want to help or to share, we're going to be sending healing to, not just to Italy, to all of those places where the coronavirus is prevalent. And I think this is a serious thing. It is a very serious thing. But I think that what we have to remember to do is to not panic. Sorry?
And wash your hands.
Well, of course, wash your hand. Yeah. We can protect ourselves by simply washing our hands, making sure that we are clean, and whenever you go out to a restaurant or if you use a public bathroom or what have you, take hand sanitizer with you, and that's all that sort of thing. We can protect ourselves. I've had this conversation with my 7-year-old grandson, and just protect yourself as much as you can. Don't go into large crowds unless you absolutely have to. There are lots of things that we can do and I think that one of the reasons people panic is because they feel helpless. So think before you start panicking. It made me smile a little bit, and please don't be offended when I say this, but it did make me smile a little bit when last week all of the stores in Italy ran out of pasta. I do have to tell you, you can live without it, you know. In New York, where my daughter lives, they ran out of toilet rolls and paper towels. There is no need to panic. And the calmer you are, and the more you take a breath and try and stay as calm as you possibly can, the more you can deal with what is going on, the more you can make sure that you're doing the right thing for yourself and for your family, the more that you can make sure that you are taking the most precautions that you possibly can. I know that a lot of the universities in New York are closing. A lot of the adult schools and educational colleges they've closed already. I know that people are saying if you can sort of stay in your home as much as possible, that's a good thing. But just be sensible. Please, 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 please don't panic, because it just makes it worse for everybody else, and it also makes it worse for you. So let's sit quietly, find a chair or a bed to lie in if you'd rather like that, or as Michelle is doing, she's sitting on the floor. Hands, palms upwards, feet firmly on the ground, please. Hands, palms upwards, if you're sitting in a chair, that is. Hands, palms upwards on your lap in a receiving position, and we are going to send out our loving prayers, our healing prayers to all of those around the world. We will mention the coronavirus because it is causing people to become so worried and so upset and so concerned. So that specifically we're going to focus a little bit on, but I also want to focus on all of you out there who are struggling with so many more debilitating illnesses and diseases. So if you are a person who needs healing, or if you are a person who would like to send out healing, sitting comfortably, take a breath through your solar plexus. Breathe in through your solar plexus and bring it right up into your lungs. It's not so easy for me to do that today. Excuse me. And hold it for a minute or two and relax and allow that energy to flow through you. Dear God, please allow us to be a part of the healing process. Allow us to join with that God force, with that universal God energy that is out there for all of us. Allow us to participate either in absorbing healing for ourselves or in the sending out of healing to others, or both. Please allow us to participate with you, to join with you, and to combine our energy with that God force, that God energy that is out there for all of us. And please remember when you say this prayer, dear God, I will to thy will. So, sitting quietly, allow your thoughts to focus on the areas that you perhaps would like healing, or allow your thoughts to just simply float out into the universe. Make those thoughts positive. If it helps bring in colour, you can visualize yourself wrapped in a blue blanket, or lying on the green grass looking up at a blue sky with the sun beaming down at you. You can think rainbows or bubbles. Whatever it is that helps you visualize that, visualize those beautiful rainbow colours. The colour gold, the spiritual colour. The colour silver, beautiful, pure of thought, of mind, of spirit. The colour blue, the universal healing colour. The colour pink, the colour of love. Visualize pink hearts going out into the universe, or visualize pink ribbons wrapped around you, giving you love, sending out love into the universe to all of those who might need it. The colour green, the colour of peace and calm and harmony, beautiful, rich light green, the colour of harmony, the colour of absolute peace and peace of mind. If you're struggling with your emotions, this is the colour that you need to visualize. Visualize that colour, being showered in that colour, being wrapped in that colour. Visualize that green, calming, peaceful, beautiful colour wrapping itself around you. That energy, that beautiful green energy that helps to calm us and to bring us peace. The colour purple, the colour of spirituality in every church, in every country, in all of the world. And just imagine this, before we were able to go to other countries, the colour purple was in every church, everywhere. A spiritual colour, we know without even knowing that it denotes our spiritual self, our spiritual thoughts, our spiritual deeds. So if that helps you to feel a little closer to God, visualize the colour purple slowly threading itself through your mind, through your heart, through your body. Think of that beautiful colour purple as it threads its way through. The colour red. If you're depleted with energy, you're exhausted all the time, but be careful with the colour red because it is a very powerful colour. Red energy is very powerful. You just need a little pop here and there, a little tiny dot and dash here and there, which will help to give you energy and to increase your energy and your energy flow. So if you've been feeling tired or exhausted and you don't understand why, it doesn't matter why. just thread a little bit of that red through your ribbon of colours, through your rainbow of colours as you give healing to yourself and then out into the universe. If it helps you and you want specifically to send healing to those in Italy, what you have to do is visualize. Italy is it's a lovely shaped country. It's not very big. Visualize that and just shower it in bursts of gold and blue and green, as I'm doing right now, sending out my energy, sending out my love, and sending out all of that beautiful energy to help all of those who are struggling. But think of all of those in every part of the world, in every part of this universe of ours. All of those who need healing, a little bit of love, a little bit of attention, a small smile. Give them that. Give it to yourself first, and then to them. All of those, even those unseen, even those you don't know, even those you've never met. Because when you're sending out your thoughts, your healing thoughts, those thoughts are a tiny, tiny, tiny pulse of energy going out, out, out into the universe, reaching their target, and then coming right back to you. So whatever it is that you're giving out right now is going to come back to you tenfold. And breathe. And allow yourself to relax. Palms still in a receiving position. Breathing gently, breathing easily. And we're done. Okay. So, stretch a little bit if it makes you feel better. Stretch your hands, stretch your arms, just stretch yourself out there. Oh, gosh. Yes, I know, it makes you very sleepy. My patients often go to sleep when I'm giving them healing. They often go into this sort of state of, it's not quite sleep, but sort of a state of sleepiness, let's say, of pure and total relaxation, which is when that healing energy works the best. All right, Michelle, do we have any comments, any questions, anything going on? Just remember, everybody out there, if you play, I play, but if you don't want to play and you don't want to write to me and you don't want to say anything, we'll be done.
Laura's in Italy and she says everybody here is out of their minds with fear.
Yeah.
And she said that her way of doing the healing is from painting, that she's painting.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Who is this, Laura?
Laura. Yeah.
I think this is what I was saying earlier, my darlings. It's the fear that drives, that drives us. It's the fear that creates the panic, and then the panic creates more fear, and then more panic, and so on. And so, I know you might think it's easy for me sitting here in my, safe little room, and perhaps it is. But even so, to stay calm, to try to not panic, to try to understand that, nature has its way of dealing with situations. But we also have an incredible resource of doctors, of medical knowledge, and I am sure that the medical profession is working, even as we're speaking. I think it's probably working its magic. So try if you can, not to be too fearful. I plan actually to come to Italy. I know people think, what, you're going there? Yes, I am. I'm planning to come to Italy in July, unless something awful stops me. I've not altered my plans. I've not changed my plans. I'm not rushing out to buy pasta. I'm not rushing out to buy toilet rolls. I can live with whatever there is that I can live with. I've always got plenty in my food cupboards anyway, but try not to panic if you can, because it's the panic that creates all this craziness that goes on. Michelle's laughing. Mike Choro is having dreams. He had surgery. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. Monday. He had surgery on yesterday. The poor little boy, but he's doing fine. So anyway, please try not to panic. Please try not to get too crazy about things. We all have faith. And in a room full of people, it can be thousands of people. I can say to the whole audience, hands up, everybody who has faith. And I'm going to say 99.99999% of people there will put their hands up because they have faith. Now it's easy to have faith. It's not so easy to live your faith. So I'm asking you, encouraging you here. These are the moments when we're in crisis. These are the moments when we live our faith. Take a deep breath. Trust in God. Trust in God's plan for you. Trust in God's plan for all of us, for you, for your loved ones. I know that so many of you out there, you're not so afraid for yourself. You're afraid for your children and your grandchildren. I know that. But these are the times and these are the moments when we do have to not only have faith, but if we can, to live our faith and to trust in God's plan.
Violet's on.
Yes, Violet. Hi, darling. How are you?
She says, sending you love. I'll call you in a week or two when you're feeling a little bit better, XX.
I'm feeling fine. You can call me anytime.
That wasn't very convincing when you coughed afterwards.
I'm sorry, yeah, I know. Yesterday morning, when Michelle came in, I was fine, right?
Yeah.
So much better. And within about, an hour?
It was hour and a half, maybe?
Within an hour to an hour and a half, I was coughing so badly and I was throwing up so badly and on and on and on. So anyway, but I'm fine. I'm fine. And I slept. I took this medicine which put me to sleep all afternoon. I've had a really bad night, not slept at all night. I ended up watching TV at 3 o'clock this morning because there's nothing else to do.
Oh, don't you? I couldn't sleep.
I hate it when but sometimes, you toss, you turn, you think I am going to just try and get to sleep. Just close your eyes and get to sleep. But the more you try to do it, the worse it gets. So anyway, but I'm fine. And again, thank you all of you for all of your lovely thoughts and prayers and well wishes. Right. Comments, questions.
Laura said thank you, or thanks a lot, that she's in southern Italy.
Oh, okay.
Salerno.
Oh, very nice. It's beautiful there. I like it there.
That's all good.
Try not to get too panicked, my darling.
So
that's it.
That's all we got right now.
Nobody else wants to talk to us. All right. I am going to tell you a story, but the story is, usually I'll tell a story about a patient, but this time I'm going to tell you a story about my team of healers in England. The chairman of our organisation, Peter Bolton, took on a huge undertaking and sort of was in charge and ran the organisation even when I had to leave England. And not that they kicked me out of it, I didn't have to leave England. Just that sounded awful, right? When I left England and started travelling the world and so on, Peter and his wife Lynn were those two who kept the whole organisation afloat. They kept it going. They dealt with students. They dealt with all of the healing centres. They dealt with so many things, and they were a rock. They were a rock to me, and they were a rock to the other healers. So I was thinking about them yesterday, and I wanted to give a shout out today because so very often, people think that, they want to give me the accolades, and thank you very much. It's very nice of you. But remember, when you stand on a stage, if you have a platform of any kind, it's not just you're the star. You can be the one. You can say, oh, look at me, and here I am, and look at what I do, and so on. But please remember, all of you who are little shining bright lanterns out there, somebody has to build that stage. And if somebody doesn't build the stage, you don't have a stage to stand on. Somebody has to put saw the wood and nail it in and make the plinths and but when it's a bigger stage, not actually an actual stage, people are always behind the scenes, helping you, propping you up, making sure that your stage, whatever kind of stage it is, your stage is safe and secure, so that when you stand on that stage, you have people behind you, people supporting you as you stand on that stage. Michelle is one of those who stands on the stage with me. She is the support. She is the one who answers all of your emails. She's the one who, tells me what you've been writing to me. She's the one who sort of is, checking up on stuff and getting iTunes up and running, which we're going to be doing.
It's going to be a pain in the...
But hopefully this next week, keep my fingers
I'm hoping
crossed.
Before the end of the week.
All right. But
we'll
let you know about that. But but there are so many people, and I look back on my life, and I look back on our healing organisation in England. My friend Kay Warburton, who is still a wonderful and a very fine healer, and her 3 daughters who supported her. I can just keep going on and on and on. Joan and Jean and Jane, if you're listening out there. All of those wonderful healers. I know I forgot. It's not that I've forgotten most of them. It's just that there are too many for me to count. But to think that we all at one point were in England and working away and beavering away and developing our healing organisation and developing the healing centres and so on, and all of these people, some people might look and say, oh well, she moved on from us, she left us behind. But no, I never ever left any of them behind. How could I possibly have left them behind? Because they were the ones who helped to catapult me forward and to help me to travel and to help me to do the work that I do now. We all need someone. All of you out there who are thinking, I don't need anybody or can manage by myself, don't ever be afraid, please, to ask for help from, even from strangers. Go to the Salvation Army. They are my favorite place, because they have no agenda. They're not going to talk you into, wearing the uniform and becoming a Sally Army major or anything. They just quietly beaver away and help people. So, or your local church or your minister or your doctor even, or whoever it is that's out there, don't be afraid to ask for help, because none of us are alone, and every one of us needs someone. Every one of us needs someone to help us. When Cachorro on Monday morning, he was bleeding very profusely from his mouth. It was just pouring out of him, and I thought it's exactly a year ago this week since he had his previous surgeries, and we almost lost him. And when I saw him on Monday morning with this blood pouring out of him, it was totally reminiscent, and the same issues as well. And my immediate thought was to pick up the phone and call a friend, who was immediately there. I'll be there in 10 minutes, he said, and he was. And we all need someone. We all need someone we can ask for help, or a go-to person, someone who can help us in times of need. And for any of you out there who feel lonely, who feel alone, it is your choice, because you can step out or pick up the phone, or there are online groups all over the web. But if you are struggling and you do need, just someone to talk to or to run things by, you can always email Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com, and you'll get Michelle, and she'll try her very best to answer any questions that you have, or to try to guide you or steer you. We'll both try and do that so that we can help you to find where it is that you need to go, or whoever it is that you need to help you. Remember, I'm going to end again with responsibility. Please, please, please. Be mindful of the responsibility that you have as healers. Be mindful of the responsibilities, all of you out there who are mediums or have knowledge of mediumship. Careful, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. It really, really is.
It's a true story.
Be very, very careful. Be very, very careful of what you say and how you say it and who you say it to. Be mindful of the responsibility. You hold other people's lives in your hands when you profess to know, when you give information out, when you say to someone, oh, I had a dream about you yesterday and this, be really, really careful. You hold other people's lives in your hands, and if you don't know what you're doing, a little knowledge is truthfully really a very dangerous thing. Do we have any more comments or questions, Michelle? Or is that it?
That's it.
That's it then. We're done.
Because everybody knows that you're still not all the way better yet.
You could bring it on. I don't care. I'll collapse later. We shall be back tomorrow in the morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, with our The Spirit World Sees All. I shall be taking questions. Please have them at the ready. You can ask me anything you like in a polite and nice way. We'll try and do our best to answer everyone who calls in. If you want to know more about us, you can email Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com. A consultation, if you want a consultation, put it in the subject line, consultation. If you want healing, if you want to be put on the healing list, in the subject line, healing list. If you want to know more about healing or to learn more about healing, again, put it in the subject line, please. If you want to know more about our books or our meditation tapes or CDs or whatever they are, again, in our in our subject line, in the subject line, and just email me. If you need or would like to be placed on our email list, you must request it, please. We will not just automatically put you on just because you email us. That's not how we work. We are going to be very soon, perhaps even next week, sending out an email to everyone on the email list about the meditations and how you can get hold of them, or where you can get hold of them from, and so on and so forth. Right, Michelle?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to be trying to get that done next week. We are way behind in what we plan to do because hey, we've been sick. But there we have it. We're all better now, aren't we, Michelle? You're much better?
I'm getting there.
She's thinking about it. She's getting
I'm getting there. I still have a lot of stuffiness and coughing.
Yeah. I think it's the time of year.
It is.
And as you can see, I'm 1,000% better than I was the last time you heard me. So tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be hopefully also doing the Everything is Attitude show. Tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I shall be with Al Pisano. I'm not even sure what the subject's going to be, but we'll think of something. And if you have any suggestions or anything you'd like to hear our comments on or our point of view on, please let us know, because it is a show about points of view and how we, with our attitude, can deal with them positively or negatively. So that's it. So until I see you perhaps tomorrow or next time, please have a very, very blessed rest of the day. And I know the weekend's coming. Well, it's midweek really, but anyway, have a joyful time. Find joy. Please find joy in your lives, even if it's only for a couple of minutes on every day. We can all find a little bit of joy in our lives if we look hard and work hard and are willing to recognize it. Until then, I'll see you next time, and I'm going to find the little thing. Where is it? Is that it? No, I'm clicking the wrong thing. That might